Hi everyone, this is John Michael for a new episode of GM Insect Discovery. And today I want to show you how easy it is to set up a vivarium using only some fish bowl. Since in the aquarium hobby, fish bowls, you shouldn't use them for fish. But in the fish keeping hobby, they are perfectly fine. And they will provide enough space for your insect, a lot of entertainment for your insect. They will just have a lot of space. So today I want to show you how I set up two really distinct type of fish ball and vivarium. So the first one, this one, will be a bare bottom type of vivarium, while the other one, the bigger one, will be more like the two previous vivarium you've seen in my channel. So the jungle vivarium and the dead leaf vivarium. So we each have advantage, and each are more suited for certain type of insect. So the first one, the bare bottom vivarium, will be more suited for insect that you really want to clean after them, like caterpillar and ladybugs and things like that. With caterpillars, you really just want to have good hydration and really a sterilized environment, because when they are in their little cocoon, they cannot protect themselves, and most of the time, if you don't take proper care of them in that stage, they will die of deshydratation, or even worse, the moist will of the earth and something like that. That could be really bad for them as well, because of fungus and decaying matter can really harm your caterpillar. So this type of vivarium will be perfect for insect that you really want to clean after them. The other type is really more if you want a vivarium that you don't clean up after, a vivarium that you just want to set up and look good for many weeks or even months. So let's start with the first one, the bare bottom vivarium. So what I really like to do, well, first of all, the first thing is you need to clean up really all the glass and such. But the really first thing I like to do with a bare bottom vivarium is to actually use Scott towel as the only bottom of the aquarium. So what I do is so this is the paludarium, but the water is pretty okay and such. So what I do is I just put the Scott towel in there, make sure that it drop many of the water, and then I put it as the bottom of the vivarium. And then what I just like to do is just let drop the excess water. So this will be the bottom of the of the vivarium. And with this technique, what is really good is if you have caterpillars, they will poop a lot. So it is pretty easy to just remove the Scott towel, and then bam, you have finished cleaning the tank. You just put a new fresh one back, and everything is good. So now, how do we aquascape this, or just escape this actually, because we are not in water, we are on land. So for this one, I'm just going to put some stick in there, and depending on the type of insect that will go there, probably a caterpillar or something, I will put the really specific plant that the caterpillar feed on. So also, next thing is I will have to cover the top, so none of my insect will escape. So really simple. All I need to add now is some food for the actual insect that will go in there. This could also be good for grasshoppers, as grasshoppers are kind of messy and stuff. So, and also this particular kind of tank is perfect for insects that easily drown, like cricket and things like that, since they can just bite on the scott towel to get their water. So really easy to set up. I did it in like what, 2 minutes, and well, it's not the best looking for now, but I'm just going to add more branch, and that will pretty much be it. And I will put like a leaf or two of the main plant that the future caterpillar that will go in there feed on. So this one is over. So that was pretty easy, and now you're good to go with that one. So now the next one. The next one is more complicated, and I'm going to set it up only to last a couple of weeks. And I mean, I watched some other people do vivarium and terrarium, and they use really a technique far more complicated than me. And well, it is good long term, but if you just want to keep a nice bowl for like let's say just the summer, my technique will be perfect. But I really suggest you to use carbon or something like that, activate carbon, to prolong the life and expectation for your vivarium. But since this will only be used for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and I will ultimately release all the animals and such, we really don't need to worry too much about that. So the first thing is you really need to pick up some rocks like that and put them as a really first layer of rocks. And what those rocks will do is, since you're going to have to pour some, oh sorry for the big noise, since you're going to have to pour some water in there from time to time, you really don't want your earth to be super moist. So this rock right here, this is the first layer of kind of a filtration, and it's also a really good water cycle in your aquarium, your terrarium. So just those rocks will be more than sufficient. Then I add some gravel for the same purpose. Yeah, wait, I'm just going to pour them. So now if you have the money, or if you really just need to be really extra careful or something, I strongly suggest you to use a material, whoops, like this one, simply to separate your gravel and rocks from your substrate. But since I'm doing a really, oh, I disturbed my spiders. But yeah, since I'm just using, well, since this project won't be for too long, and I'm just showing you really a easy way to do it, you really don't need to worry too much about this. So next thing is earth. So I collected a little bit of earth right here, and I'm not afraid of what's in this earth. Actually, since we are looking for insect and such, I really want some seeds to be in this earth, some insect, some eggs, some stuff like that. But if you're worried or something, you can just sterilize the earth, and how you do this is you just bake it at 350 degrees and for like 10 to 15 minutes, sorry, and you will be okay. So now all we do is we pour some earth in there, depending of your type of insect and the type of plants that you want. The layer of earth will greatly depend. So if you want some worm or some millipede or something that really like to dig, I strongly suggest putting the more earth possible in there. So yeah, that was a bit messy and there is a lot of earth in there. Might be just even too much earth, but that's not too bad. And as you can see, all the rocks beyond is still totally fine. So now this is the earth, and now we have to do two more really important things, because in the first vivarium you are the one that provide all the food, you are the one that really take care of the vivarium. This is made for really messy insect and other messy animals, but in there it's not you that will take care of the vivarium. The vivarium will take care of itself. So how do we do that? First, we use some moss. Moss is great, guys. Moss is Mother Nature at its best. I just put some moss here and there. Moss is really great, really good, really beautiful. I'm not gonna use too much of it, but yeah, moss, you can collect it pretty much everywhere. I'm going to take a lot of the paludarium moss, since there isn't any frogs or anything in there for now. Oops. So I'm just putting some of the moss. Really pretty self-explanatory thing. So the moss will provide a lot of shelter, a lot of protection. But as you can see, I kept this part really clean of moss, because in there we will plant our plants and also put some decoration. So for decoration, I strongly suggest you to add at least one rock. Rocks are great, guys. In my jungle leaf paludarium, I have a rock, and I also have this big stick, this big wood, a piece of wood, and yeah, as you can see, animals really enjoy the rocks. When you're not really taking care of the vivarium and forget to pour some water in there, rocks will stay really wet, and the animals like those one, they will just want to go near the rock. So right now we have a simple rock, and I'm just going to put it right there. I don't really care for the look of the terrarium or such. So now the interesting part, putting plants. What plants do you really want? So in a vivarium like this one, and in a vivarium like the jungle leaf and such, what you really want is to add at least a little bit of grass, like this one. This grass is badweed, so you really don't need to purchase any of the plants I will show you for this vivarium. You actually just want to take all the bad plants, the plants that annoy you when you're at your home, you know, there is always like a dandelion or a clover that you just not want there, or like a grass that just stick in the rock and you're like, oh, I don't want you there, you're just ugly and such. So you want to take those plants because they are really able to adapt really quickly, and well, it's a good way to recycle a plants that you don't like on your property, and boom, it became a nice part of the environment. So I have this plant, I don't know what it is, just going to stick in there and let it grow in there. I probably put too much of earth, but I don't really care. So yeah, that plant will be great in there. A clover, really good. So what I just do really is I do a big hole, stick the root in there, and cover it up. So yeah, and I wasn't intending to put this big plant, but well, screw it, not enough place. So now the only thing remaining is to put some branch or something, just to do more decoration. Let me just find out just a branch or something, or you can just add more rocks, like big rocks, and be like, oh, I just really want a big rock, boom, or other branch. Let me just find a nice branch somewhere. Yeah, that could do the trick. No, that's ugly. Anyway, but yeah, now we have set up a new vivarium ready to go. Now I just have to cover this. This would be perfect for wolf spider, millipede, worm, and pretty much everything. And it could be also really good for grasshoppers. But really, the important thing about this type of vivarium is to use plants that insect can eat. So really, one of the best plants in there is grass. Grass is amazing. Grass will grow fast. Grass can take care of itself. Grass can survive fire, so it can survive your little bugs. But yeah, if you don't want to, if you want to have some insect, but you're not sure if they are going to eat your plants or something, just put grass. Insect will automatically eat your grass, and this is good for the insect. So yeah, and a last little recommendation is to plant your vivarium and let it sit for there for a couple of days, or at least, well, or weeks, if you really have the courage and patience to do that. My vivarium right here is pretty much ready to go. I could put really a lot of insect in there. Might not be the most beautiful vivarium, but pretty much effective, right? So yeah, you just have to let your plant adapt for a couple of days, except if you're going to put some spiders. Spiders, they don't eat your plants, they will protect your plants, so that's good. But yeah, grass, really a must-have. It will be eaten, but that's the main reason why we put some grass in your vivarium, so your insect can eat something. And moss will keep the hydration. The rocks will provide some shelter. The branch, they are just there for decoration and for the insect to explore a little. And yeah, this tank is ready. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new today. And yeah, this is pretty much how I build my tank. My vivarium. I have created two type of vivarium in less than 20 minutes. So I just wanted to prove that setting a vivarium is really fairly easy and should be fun and fast. Bye!